Sensei Beats.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Just Some Weebs, Episode 8. Today, we will be discussing Gantz O. We will be discussing Ghost in the Shell, the 1996 movie, I believe it was, and
95.
5 seconds to Mars. I mean, 5 centimeters to somewhere
Per
over
centimeter.
the rainbow.
I said,
5 centimeters.
wait, you
per
got
second.
me confused.
Per second.
centimeters.
That's what it is. There we go. What do you guys want to start with?
Let's start with 5 centimeters per second. I feel like
It was a good one, dude.
That was a
good one.
What were you guys' initial opinions on and thoughts on the movie?
Yeah, I'd call it a movie. It was like an hour, but they broke it up into like 3 episodes. But I would consider it still like a film, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I liked it a lot. I kind of drew a personal connection to this one because I'm married now. I met my wife in high school, so we kind of had like a similar background like that where we met super young. And also we kind of had a period where I went away to college, which was, 6 hours away. And this was like a year and a half, 2 years into us dating, 3 years at that point. So it's kind of like felt like our relationship took the same path that these guys did, with like having this strong connection when they were super young and then separating, and kind of that love was still there, but kind of faded for them. Whereas like I felt like that was what could have happened to us. We just kind of took a different approach where, maybe when, how he has that letter that gets blown away and all these things happen where he doesn't really get to confess his love to her to the full extent, where I don't know, that one hit home for me. I thought it was really good. And the art style was beautiful. The animation was phenomenal. I wish that I kind of wish that they ended up getting together, but I thought that was a little too, unoriginal. I feel like everybody's done that where the happy ending, they get together, and this kind of took like a different approach where they didn't end up together, but it was still happy,
Yeah. In response to that, Makoto Shinkai, other than your name, well, even your name still kind of ended so abruptly.
Right.
And it ended like, they didn't really know who they were in the end after being through so much. And same with, Wuthering Sea was an exception because I know you guys haven't seen it, but usually the usual Makoto Shinkai's works usually ends it in a unrequited love, and that's why I love his work so much, because it's so real. It feels everything he makes feels so real, and it's like, and his every single animation he has is beautiful.
Yeah,
Absolutely
it definitely had a
beautiful.
lot of work in the actual, the art aspect of it, which is one of my favorite things when it comes to anime. Is just like visually appealing. But
Oh yeah,
I thought the story was phenomenal as well. I don't know. What do you think, Eric?
Feel bad for the guy.
I liked it a lot. I'm used to kind of fucked up romances, and this one wasn't 100% perfect, but it was done very, very well. But it was still realistic and relatable, because a lot of the romances and the stories I follow, the romance in it is relatable because of how fucked up it is. But this one wasn't complete. I wouldn't say it was really fucked up, and it went down a relatable route too, not like the ones I'm used to, where it's like it's relatable because of how broken it is and how much it has to constantly fix itself, and then it goes back down again. But this was a lot happier, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'd say it's happy because, while he was sitting there chasing her and still in love with her, she was moving on to somebody else.
Right.
Like, I feel like, because I've been through something like that, I live in New York. I'm not sure if you guys ever heard of the Hamptons. Usually,
yeah.
Everyone knows the Hamptons. I had a ex who lived in the Hamptons, and I lived in the city, so I always had to travel like 2-3 hours to go on a train, literally the same exact way. And I think I did get stuck in a snowstorm before, which is kind of weird, but it's so like, it just had such a
real life aspect.
I feel that is the whole pie of a slice of life, instead of just being a slice, the whole damn pie.
Yeah. Realism at its finest.
Exactly.
Yeah, like you said too, like I mean when I went to college, I went to school for instance in Rhode Island and I live in Vermont, so like it's roughly 6 hours, but the only way for her to get here was like she didn't want to take her own car the whole time, so she would have to take a bus and it was like, getting in at 11 a.m. and leaving at like 7 a.m. the next day. So it's like, you got to do what you can, but
Yeah,
it's definitely tough.
it
And
is.
the relationship to that and like the movie was just
No,
yeah.
Gotta recommend more of his works, man. I have to.
Yeah, that's the first
yeah,
one I've seen.
So, so good.
And
I
when did that come out?
yeah, I had a little bit of
2007?
relatability to it myself because
Mm,
I almost married someone who lived in states away from me, and I would go there. I almost moved to Missouri, and I was out in Missouri and Arizona, like right when I first moved there, and I had
right.
a relationship like that, but that ended a lot more horribly than what happened in this. But it was very relatable, and I would say that mine was a little. I think it made it more difficult because mine was a much farther distance, and then I had
Right.
to possibly change my entire life. And I'm glad I didn't, but there was definitely some relatability there for me on my end.
Right. Right. Yeah, I think he did a great job in making it just relatable to like so many different aspects of people's lives where it doesn't have to be the exact same thing, but it's like, a storyline where most people have experienced something,
But,
where distance is a hill to climb.
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What would you
What would
guys
you
rate it?
think is or yeah, I was going to say, what would you think, since you've seen all of them, you compare that to the other like pieces of his work?
Yeah, that 5 centimeters per second is one of the, that's one of his sadder work.
Right.
I feel like me personally, knowing all his other pieces, I would rate this like an 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah,
Okay.
8.7. No, I'll say 8.7.
8.7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so good, man. Like, it's so original, and for it to be made in 2007, the artwork is just ahead of its time. Like,
Oh
Oh, 2007, is that when it came out?
yeah,
yeah.
2007.
Damn. Yeah, that's very impressive for 2007 then. I'd probably give it like a 8.5 as well. I
Okay.
thought it was really well done.
What about you?
I would give it I'd give it a solid 8. I really liked it, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, I like those style of slice of life romance a little bit, but at the same time, that's not entirely my speed. I kind of like the
Mhm.
blend more, but it was still really good. And I kept myself pretty engaged throughout it, which I didn't
Right.
think I would through parts of it because I'm not typically used to watching stuff like that, but it was really good.
Hmm. Yeah, I think the narration style of it was really cool too, where it was like we kind of were watching the story happen, but like they were never really actually talking to each other. It was all of them like thinking and writing letters and whatnot, which I think added a cool aspect to the show as well.
Oh yeah.
Especially in like the second episode or part, whatever you want to call it, where it's like the friend that also kind of likes the guy, and it's like you see through somebody else's eyes how like it's you know hurting him and whatnot that he can't
Mhm.
be with her, but he's still in love with her, and that was pretty cool, unique.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Story. It's a story of heartfelt and broken hearts.
Right.
I don't know. It's something. That's my cup of tea. Yeah, it's my cup.
Right.
And I gotta
Yeah, I mean,
convert you guys.
right. Like Eric said, it's again for me, it's not like my
Yeah.
preferred genre, but I definitely enjoyed it, and I like being exposed to all these other genres because before we started doing this, I was mostly just shonen and
Yeah.
and
Show
then
me.
horror. Those are the only two things I watched really, but it's good exposure.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So now
What do you
that I
guys want
feel
to do
like
next?
we got some good discussion of 5 centimeters per second.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I
let's
think we
talk
should do
about
Gantz next,
Gans. Yeah, that's what I
personally,
was gonna
because
say.
that
Gans.
one has a
Yeah.
little less, story drivenness. So, we'll put
Oh,
that in the
much.
middle.
You know,
But the CG,
yeah.
what did you guys think of the CG?
The
That was why I
picture
recommended it.
the picture outside of the like before even watching, I thought it was gonna look completely different than what it actually was. I thought it was gonna be
Right.
like so human like that it's not, they're not
Yeah.
real. But it was good. Like I enjoyed watching it. It was, I feel
Bloodbath.
like yeah, it could have been a little bit more. plot driven or plot, it can have a
Right.
bit more plot,
They
I
could have
think.
mentioned it a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
got kind of repetitive towards the end.
Right. Because what it did is it takes, I mean, I haven't seen the original anime because it just
Hmm.
doesn't look that good. Like, it doesn't look well done to me. But as far as the manga goes, it takes like what's called the Osaka arc, which is like in the middle of the manga kind of, and it just takes the best parts of that and puts it into a movie. And they try to like make it in a sense where it's not really supposed to have plot. It's supposed to be more like you can just jump in and be like, all right, I don't need the backstory of all this. We're just going to watch some badass action. And they kind of just really want to make it all about the animation and like be like, oh, this is our budget. We're sparing no expense. We're just going to make the coolest looking monsters and shit we can.
Yeah.
But yeah, which I think the like animation and like the prettiness of it was, or not so prettiness, I guess, with the
Yeah.
gory. But I think that they did a good job as far as like the CGI goes compared to, like Berserk or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. It was pretty aesthetic to the eye. Like I went into it, I thought it was a little weird at first.
Right.
And then after a few minutes I got used to it and I
Yeah.
actually quite enjoyed it. And I kind of wish there was more anime movies like that. It almost didn't even really
Right.
feel like anime.
Exactly. Yeah. The CG was done like in a sense where like it felt like it was almost real life.
I would put that more in like the 3D category than the animation
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, CGI. Yeah.
category. So,
Right.
but I feel like I don't know. I feel like it was like I enjoyed watching it, but like toward the main character kind of annoyed me a little bit.
Right.
He kind of like even picking the girl at the end
Mhm.
rather than freeing himself, and I did kind of like that they twisted like I didn't expect him to be you know there before like
Right.
if, I don't know. It's just if I would have rated, I would rate it like a 7.5 because I did enjoy it, but could have been better. It had its
Yeah.
Yeah.
faults.
Yeah. I
So
mean, I think I rated it honestly like a 7 just because like, the plot isn't there. But
yeah,
for this movie, I watch it purely as just like enjoyment for action,
it's like a
If you ever
Yeah.
passive
have,
movie.
yeah, it's like a horror slasher almost. That's like an animation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd give it like a 7.2 or 7 point. I'd give it somewhere around there.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely leaves some to be desired for as far as story goes, but
Yeah.
you get what you get and you don't get upset. That's what some say.
Yeah.
But I'm curious though. How can you say you wouldn't be interested in watching? Because I feel the anime. Because I feel like looking at the anime, I feel like I'll be able to feel more. You know,
As far as story and like development goes, for sure,
yeah.
100%. But look up the anime. It came out in like mid 2000s and
Mm.
like it looks like it's from like the 80s, 90s. Like just like the style is so bad.
Oh no. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen clips and trailers and I just
I
have
heard
no
the manga
interest.
is really
The
good.
manga is supposed to be phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah, and I heard there's actually like a deep story behind it. And I had some
Hmm.
friends tell me that it had a really deep ethical meaning between
Hmm.
life and everything. I had friends who saying it had like a huge, like they said it had it almost implied like a sort of vegan message. And I that's what they told me about the manga. And like it's like that deep
Hmm.
about like morality, life, and everything.
Right.
Then I watched this movie and I'm like, is there a little bit of that? Like, like what the fuck? There's like,
Right, yeah. I'm pretty sure the manga towards the end of it takes like a huge left turn and like the aliens kind of almost take like a god approach to things and they kind of just deem the human race like shit basically.
yeah.
But again, I haven't read it all, so we'll see. Maybe I'll do it one day. But yeah, I heard it starts off like really good then or not so good. I think it starts off like okay, and then it gets really good in the middle and then it kind of goes downhill at the end again.
Okay.
Right. I don't know
Yeah.
how long it is or anything
You
though.
finished Dodo Head, man. I really want to talk about it. I
Hey,
really
we can talk about it. I only have like 3 or 4 episodes left, I think.
Yeah.
okay.
Dodehedro.
So
Nah, I loved Dodo Hero, man.
So good.
Really,
It's so original.
it
Like,
definitely is original. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
and I love Kaiman. Like, he's
Kind.
yeah, he's just a character of his own. And I'm like, the fact that he has he literally puts somebody's head in his mouth every single time.
Yeah.
And it has a comedy aspect to it, but also has
Yeah.
that little that suspenseful aspect. The action.
Mhm.
I don't know. For what it's worth, I feel like I enjoyed every moment of it until like the last 2, 3 episodes. 'Cause I feel like it got rushed at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like
Well,
it
what would you
needs a
say
second season.
the plot is? Because I got kind of like, I mean, I haven't seen all of it yet, but like, I'm kind of confused of where it's going, other than him trying to like figure out like what happened to him, basically.
What was
Well,
the last part you seen?
yeah.
The last part I see was, I remember like, what was it, like these two new like badass like magicians or whatever they're called, that came in and they like killed like a bunch of people, and then some, I don't really remember the end of what I saw last, to be
That
honestly.
period is so you talking
I
about
think I saw like I'm on like episode 6 or something.
yeah, yeah. I was about to say it doesn't sound like episode 9. The
Yeah,
guy
no,
with had that has the heart mask, right? And the
yeah,
person with the blue mask. Yeah,
yeah, I remember them at like a dinner table, and then like,
yeah, early. Yeah, like just at
yeah,
like the midpoint.
right, yeah, I thought, okay, because how many, there's 12 episodes,
Yeah,
right?
12. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess maybe I don't know. Maybe I haven't gotten far enough to really know what the plot is
I
yet.
feel like
I
it's,
mean,
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
it gives you kind of a general idea of it. I mean, it's okay. We haven't gotten to the part where they go to where all the sorcerers are and everything, and then, because I mean, because there's a lot more in the manga, but I'll admit it, the first season doesn't entirely explain the plot until you get a little farther down. Because I've read the manga a little bit, and one thing that when you're watching the first season is you kind of get a sense is at first you think that Shin and Noe and all of them are kind of the bad guys, and then you start wondering yourself, are they the bad guys? And you kind of you're kind of like, I kind of like them more. For me at least, I kind of liked the sorcerers a little more than Mikado and them. I just found them more interesting. I feel like they've gone through their own struggles, and they're not entirely bad people. And people already know this on Discord, but as I was before, Noe is like my number one wife right now. Like I love her. Like she is one of my favorite characters. I have the biggest crush on her, and just her alone, like she's so nice, but like at the same time, like she can just kick a lot of ass, and she's gone through some shit, and it's her job to like kill people, do regulate all this, but like you can tell like she's a really really nice person, very understanding, and
Mm,
her and Shin, I think they're pretty cute, but at the same time, I think she's kind of a little too good for Shin unless Shin like gets his shit more squared away. But that's just my opinion.
right.
And yeah, overall, I really like the sources. And Mikado,
Yeah, they definitely are cooler, I think, the
I think
sorcerers.
they're cooler. They're more relatable too.
Mm,
And Mikado, I like him, but I'm not gonna lie, he's kind of an asshole. And
right.
sometimes I kind of don't know who to root for because I'm like, they're a lot more mature and better. They're actually nicer than Mikado is. Like they have more respect than he does. In all honesty,
Hmm. So do
and
you
they're less
figure out
immature.
later like how they get their magic, or like what the like black smoke stuff is, or is it
Black smoke isn't magic.
that, yeah, like
They're just born with it.
they're
Yeah.
just born, okay, because it seemed like it was like they were creating it somehow, I thought, or like,
Well, they
Yeah.
manufacture it, but it has to be exploited from other sorcerers.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Speaking about Shin, I feel like I loved Shin's character. Like
Oh
I
yeah,
love
she's awesome.
his like for example, his power, his magical power is so dope.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I feel like Shin and Noe is it Noe?
No,
I feel like they're like polar opposites in that way because she heals people and he destroys people. Like he literally just like his power is literally to break people apart,
oh yeah. They
which is
balance each other out really well. I think they're really good for each other. They're like one of those couples where it's like they're flawed, but at the same time, well, especially Shin more so than Noe, but like their flaws kind of like kind of work together, and I kind of want to see them help each other work more on themselves. And there's a few other couples like that, but that's why I think they're really good for each other. And maybe the more and more the story goes in, like their relationship becomes stronger. You know, it seems more like Noe likes Shin more than Shin likes Noe, or at least that Shin will admit.
Yeah, I just looked up just to make sure I knew it was him, and yeah, I made it to like maybe an episode or two after Shin and Noi come in
Yeah.
to the I don't know, that's probably around 5 or 6, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he was cool. He was my favorite from literally like just seeing him in like 1 or 2 episodes.
Oh yeah,
I
he's
think
really
his heart mask is pretty cool. It's pretty
yeah,
cool.
the math.
I always find it funny when they take the masks off and stuff because like I didn't expect him to look like that at all from like the
I
way he
know,
acts
right?
and the way he talks. And I'm like, oh, he's just literally like the normalest dude.
Like Shin looked exactly how I did not expect him to look.
Right.
I expected
Yeah,
him to
the
be like all
exact
scarred
opposite.
up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's like some
Some,
blonde, blue-eyed, pretty boy with
right.
a heart mask.
Right. Is there a reason they make him wear masks like that? Or do
I
they just
don't.
do
They
it?
don't really. I haven't gotten that far into the manga, but they don't
Okay.
really explain. I guess it's just like for on missions, and it kind of how.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
it
hide
covers
them, I guess.
off enough to where you know who they are.
Right. Yeah, because I remember like when they first come into it, they're like going to the dinner table to meet with what's like the lead
And
sorcerer, like the main bad guy,
and
or I guess not bad guy.
yeah, I think that's his name. En, pretty sure.
And
Yeah,
I think
Ian. Yeah.
yeah,
right, they like go to meet him and they like say like, "Oh, don't forget to put your mask
And
on" or something.
I,
Or like,
I do not like En's character. And his power, I find, is so stupid.
right.
It's literally to turn people into mushrooms.
Yeah.
that, he makes good use of it though. It's a pretty OP power, and he's a really he has a lot of magic too. Like he can
Right.
just.
I'm excited to finish this now if it gets in so much more into like
Oh, it
magic
gets
and
so much
shit.
better. Yeah, you have a lot more to
It
look
Right.
needs
for.
a second
For
season.
sure.
Right.
It
I think it
needs-
is getting. I thought it was confirmed for a second season.
Was
I
it?
thought I saw. I
Okay.
think so.
I think it's next year because I know yeah, I don't know what time they're releasing it. I think it's going to be a little later because I know Beastars season 2 is coming out in January of next year, and I think just like followed up after that on the Netflix anime list. But yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Since Connor has not finished Dodo Head, I feel like we gotta keep it to a minimum for Dodo.
I will
Head.
definitely have it finished for the
Yes,
next
but
episode. That is 100%
Let's
sure.
talk about the cat in the bag. Ghost in the
Ooh,
Shell.
Ghost in the
so
Shell.
relevant right now. I
Yeah.
feel like, especially after watching A Perfect Blue.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite '90s anime movies.
hmm I looked it up, and it says Ghost in the Shell 2 is a movie as well. I don't know if it
Really?
follows after the first one, but it came out in 2004 because that's the one I started watching first, and then I was like, I don't think this is it.
Well, what everyone says, and I tend to kind of agree with it, is the first movie was the best out of anything that's come from Ghost in the Shell.
Complex.
Okay.
Yeah. No
Animal
standalone.
Complex is Animal Complex. So the way Ghost in the Shell works is the series follows a different like arc than the movie. Like the movie doesn't directly translate, or the anime doesn't directly translate into the movie. It's two different storylines. But I feel like I feel like Standalone Complex is a lot more. How do I say it? A lot more in depth and a lot more complex.
Yeah.
Than the movie. And I feel like I enjoyed the movie in a sense. Like it was cool. It gave you a little taste of what Ghost in the Shell is. Like
Right. I thought the
Um,
movie was sick. Yeah.
yeah, it was definitely dope.
I just kind of confused on the ending because I thought like it was gonna get so much more. Like
Like,
they
is that
just
her as a
met
little
like
kid?
the what?
I was like, is that her as a little kid? Like,
Yeah, because it was like a new body or something that they uploaded her to.
Yeah, at the new body where she starts from there, and then I think she gets a different body. You know, that's just kind of to keep her safe when she was
Right.
died. But
So like, what I don't get what the like happened in the ending though. So like, did they like connect and like combine their like with the puppet master or whatever his name was?
Yeah, it was a puppet master. I think that is what
Master?
he was called. Yeah, puppet master.
It's like they synced and they had like that huge groundbreaking conversation and then it just ends.
Yeah, it felt like it's ended so abruptly. Like,
Right. I just was confused of where is there stuff after that, like in the anime or
I don't know enough about Ghost in the Shell to really
Right.
say. I mostly just kind of fuck with the original movie.
Right. Okay. I thought the movie was sick though.
Yeah,
Other than
The
like being confused at the end, I thought it was phenomenal. It was such a
always
cool concept.
90s anime movies always have confusing ass endings, especially the
Yeah.
really good ones or the kind of complicated ones.
Right. Right.
And yeah, no, if you, that was what I was thinking because I knew that it inspired The Matrix. But when I was watching the first Ghost in the Shell movie, I was like, wow, this is really giving me Matrix vibes. And then that was when I
Right.
looked at The Matrix, took so much influence from it.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely gave Matrix vibes with the whole,
Right.
technology, the whole futuristic aspect. And I feel like it Ghost in the Shell for during its time was original as hell. Like the
Oh
fact
yeah,
that
it
Yeah.
inspired a lot
yeah,
of
you put on a
sci-fi.
hood, you can disappear. She had like this little veil that made her disappear.
Yeah.
It
Oh
was
yeah,
Optical
yes. I forgot like
it's
optical
one of the most
invisibility.
influential sci-fi anime movies. Like as far as sci-fi animes go, it's considered to be like one of the most well recognized and influential
Mm,
on other animes and even American sci-fi.
right. It took place in 2020, I think 2029, right?
Yeah, 9 years from now.
Yeah, so we'll see.
hopefully 2029 is like that.
Yeah, we'll see what 2029 is like.
You get to
I
be
thought it was really cool. I don't know if you guys have watched a lot of docs at all or anything, but I watched recently the new one on Netflix, which is like The Social Dilemma, and it's all about like AI and like advertising and like social media and stuff. And after watching that and then following up with Ghost in the Shell, I was like, damn, we're like AI is pretty pretty much almost there. I feel like, like they're talking about how now they've created like certain softwares and AI that like preventing hackers and whatnot, like they can kind of prevent themselves from being, shut down basically and just free thinking.
Oh yeah.
Kind of creepy.
interesting.
Yeah, and like the puppet master, he like created like almost his own soul. It's like he was created as an AI, or not an AI, but kind of an AI in a sense.
He
But
made it
he,
he made it known that he wasn't known as an AI. That he was not an
right, right. That was like a slur to him almost. But yeah, it's so cool. He like created his own existence in a sense, and then like I kind of got the feeling that he wanted to be human, or he wanted to be like have a body. I don't know. It was very unique.
I feel like he wanted more than just to be a human. I feel like he wanted to be a greater power of some
Yeah, or
sort.
like a god. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He had a massive god complex.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
His
like,
light.
just wait until see what I can do, and then he just shuts down the helicopters or like makes them malfunction. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
He pulled the light move, man. He pulled a light move.
Yeah.
No, I also got kind of Terminator vibes right there, like all
Yeah.
of that happening, like Skynet.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Amazon, aka Skynet.
Yeah, next.
Um. So I feel like we haven't really touched on the anime that is coming out next month. I feel like that is something that we should really do. Like Attack on
Next.
Titan.
Jeez.
What else? What else? What else? What
Gotta
else is
hold me
coming out
back.
next
I'm gonna
month?
fall over. Jesus. Whew.
I
Attack on
forgot that
Titan.
new anime. I forgot the name of the new anime that everybody's looking forward to. That's
Oh, is
coming
it
out.
like the Jutsu
Yeah, yeah,
Kaien or Kaiman or whatever? Yeah, I just started reading that, so
really.
I'm excited for it. Yeah, well, I mean, literally like the first volume. So, but I'm gonna start. I have like my Viz Media account that I got for like $5 a month or something, and they have like all the chapters on there for like every series
No.
ever. Not
Yeah.
ever, but a lot of them. So I've
And
been starting to read it on there. It's pretty
I
cool.
think they moved up the Kimetsu no Yaiba movie to next month too, or was it
Did
originally?
they?
Yeah, it
Ooh,
says
that's
October
huge.
16th. Yeah.
I wonder what they're gonna do because like movie theaters aren't really fully open. Like I mean, mine local one just opened in Vermont, and it's like weird. I'm sure they're not open in the city yet. So
I don't think so.
right, maybe they'll release it on like Amazon. You can rent it or some shit.
Yeah, 'cause I need to watch that movie as a manga reader of
Right.
Kimetsu no Yaiba. I need
Yeah,
to
it's gonna
see how they
be sick.
adapted that short ass arc
Mm.
into the movie into a movie. That arc was short, man.
Right.
It was
Eric, have you said you read some of the manga, right? Or did
Um,
you not
wait, which one? Or
for Demon
Demon
Slayer?
Slayer.
oh, Demon Slayer, a little bit, not enough to really go like
Right.
very, very. I have a lot of reading to catch up on. I've read a
Right.
little bit past the first season, and that's
Okay, so you haven't seen what the movie covers yet then.
nah.
Okay. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah, I can't wait for
It's
that.
I think that it'll fit the movie. Like
yeah.
I think it'll fit like an hour and a half, 2 hour movie pretty good.
What I'm excited about is that it's an anime movie that's actually canon. Most
Mm-hmm.
anime movies aren't canon. That's why a lot of anime movies aren't good.
Right.
Like the Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho movies were such a letdown.
Yeah.
I watched them and they just did not hold up. But
Yeah.
you watch them? Those the My Hero Academia movies are freaking baller though.
Yeah. I
I went
just
to
got the
theaters to see them both.
which one did I get? I got the one where they go to like the convention.
Oh
Is
yeah,
it
that
Two
was good.
Heroes? No, I don't remember what
I
it's
forgot
called.
what they're called, but I
But
watched
they
the
go and
one.
he get that's where he gets like the things to put on his like hands or his legs to like support him when he goes into one for all mode or
Yeah,
all for one mode.
Yeah,
I
and
watched
then
the one that came out this year. I forgot what it's called. Heroes Rising.
I think that's Two Heroes, right?
No, I think it was Heroes Rising. Or is that
Heroes
the?
Rising, maybe.
Hold on, I mean, um,
But
but
yeah, needless to say, the My Hero movies are sick.
oh yeah,
yeah,
they're
I think it was Heroes Rising.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
But
And it was like I watched it in theaters, and that movie was so freaking dope. Like
oh
the
mhm.
way the first one, the animation stuff. But the only issue I had
Yeah.
about it was so damn Dragon Ball Z influenced. Like you can feel the DBZ in that movie,
Mhm.
man. With
oh yeah.
Bakugo, with Midoriya, I'm like, come on, come on.
Yeah.
This is obvious. Like,
The
but
Right,
show
right.
I feel like the
influence.
whole anime is just DBZ influenced in
It's
the sense.
becoming kind of like the next in a way is how popular it is and just
Right.
I mean it doesn't have the issue with power scaling really as much because each character has a unique ability and you kind of
Mhm.
can't predict it. It's not as
Right.
predictable.
Right.
Sure.
That's the big thing for me being like a big shonen fan is like I hate I hate when they fight and it's just so predictable that they're just gonna
Oh
duke
yeah.
it out. Like I need somebody like Hunter x Hunter or like Demon Slayer where they're strategizing and like
Oh
they're
yeah.
thinking when they're fighting. I think My Hero does a good blend of that, you
It
know.
does.
Like
Yeah.
Deku's a pretty smart character, you know.
You know, since we're on the topic of My Hero Academia, I feel like this is up for controversy. What would you say the saddest fight in My Hero Academia was? Would you say it's the Endeavor fight? Because a lot of people tell me that they think that was the saddest fight in the
Endeavor.
I I thought I thought that fight was good, but like one of my like turning moments for um My Hero was I guess I wouldn't be super sad, but I liked when Bakugo and Midoriya like they kind of like had that plan going in where like Bakugo pretended that he was like leaving or whatever with All for One, and then that was my favorite fight where they just launch him. But I
I feel
don't know
like
if it was sad. I guess.
I feel like the saddest part for me and like the best fight for me were like and they're kind of connected because the event led to it is when I think his name is
Mhm.
Tsunai,
Who?
my what's his name? All my sidekick.
Oh, Night Eye. Hawkeye? No, Night Eye.
Is it Night Eye? I think it's Night Eye. I feel like it is.
I think it's
What,
Night Eye.
whatever his name is, I forgot his name. When he died, like I felt like that was so
That
freaking
was
sad
sad, yeah.
compared to Endeavor because I feel like Endeavor. I never really liked Endeavor. I have an Endeavor figure over there. I'm not sure if I can see it. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it just like popped up for a second.
Right.
But it's like he's cool,
Mhm.
but I hate that he's the number one hero now.
He's
I
not a
always
likable character.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Like, I think he's written to be like that because he's cool, but he's not like that good of a person himself. He's kind
Mhm.
of an asshole.
he did
What's the guy with the feathers? I thought he was so cool.
Hawks.
Hawk. Yeah, Hawks is
Hawks is
good.
fucking dude. No, he gets way better too in the manga. If you read out in the manga, he gets
Yeah, I haven't
so
read any of
You
the
reading the
manga.
manga? Or you up to it? Are you up to date with it, Eric?
I'm not completely up to date to it, but I'm past the anime. But yeah, Hawks gets a man, like he
He
becomes one of
seems
my
so
favorite characters. He is
yeah.
a fucking badass.
Yeah, dude. Never having heard of him before. It was so cool to have him come in as such like an awesome character. Like when they did like the new hero rankings, there were so many new characters that are like, wow, this just added so much more to the show.
I mean, they always spoke about him though, like being the big number 3 hero when All Might was still number 1. Like, but
Mm,
they never showed him. They never
right.
showed who he was. They show like a silhouette of what he looked like, kind of, but they never revealed
Mm,
it. And then
Yeah.
I guess that build up kind of influenced us to like him even more because
right.
like, oh, this is what he's like. Oh, he's fucking dope.
Right.
But
Have you read the manga, Noel?
no, I have not. I haven't even
Okay.
touched it. I tried reading it, but it's like I feel like there's so much already. There's so
Mm,
much in the anime that's already been covered.
right. And the anime is so good. I feel like
Yeah,
usually I read mangas because I feel like animes leave stuff out, but like I feel like that one's really, really well
Yeah, they
done.
do a good job with that.
Right. Have you guys seen the other manga series? It's like My Hero Academia, like Vigilantes or
I have
something.
not.
I don't.
I didn't
I
even hear of
saw
it.
it when I got the Viz account, and I was like, "What is this?" It's like it's got like 80 chapters or something already, and it's
Really?
like, yeah, I think it's like the same world and everything. And it's just called My Hero Vigilantes or
Hmm.
whatever. I don't
My
know.
my friend Johnny, he's really big into My Hero. He's all caught up in the manga. He knows a lot more about it than I do. I remember him briefly talking about that. By the way, shouts out to Johnny. He actually watches all of our podcasts and really enjoys it. Shouts out to
Next
him.
guest,
Appreciate you,
maybe.
John. I appreciate you, Johnny. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
maybe we'll have him come on and teach us about some My Hero.
oh yeah, no, he knows a lot. It's about One Piece too. He knows a lot about One
So
Piece.
that's one that I'm caught up all the way on.
Yeah, you would have a great conversation about
I
One Piece.
can't I can't relate to that one. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Right.
One Piece. Yeah,
One Piece has become like a staple for me now. No,
Like I
it's like
tried
being like
watching the
I'm all
first
caught up.
episode.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
tried
it's
watching the first
huge, One
episode. I
Piece.
just could not. I could not sit through that first episode with that
Dude,
thought that I have
yeah.
to watch like 900
It
other ones.
changes completely. It changes
Oh,
completely. The first like couple arcs are like so dated, I think.
oh yeah, that's true. That's very, very true. Like it,
Yeah.
especially once the time skip happens, and
Oh yeah.
when you get the Mon or the Yonkos, and they start going to the Yonkos and start fighting them, and
That
going,
it's like a whole new series at that point. Once the Yonkos
Hmm.
come in, it's literally like it goes from like childish kind of to like badass, and then the Yonkos come in, and then it's like, oh my god, I'm on the edge of my seat every episode now.
definitely.
But it's
Yeah,
a hike to get there.
it's a grind.
990 episodes
It's
or
a
something.
grind, man.
Yeah.
Grind.
But why we're talking about My Hero as well, before we get too far from that, who are your guys' favorite hero?
Heroes.
Or character.
Your number one, or
Oh,
character, or we can do favorite villain, favorite hero.
I think favorite villain, favorite character.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'll go
Favorite-
first.
Yeah.
My favorite hero is Aizawa. I think he's sick. I love him. He's so cool. Close second to Amajiki, is it right? I don't know if I'm saying it right. The guy that eats all the shit and can turn into it.
Yeah.
Turn into like the yeah. He's close second. Villain, hero killer Stain by far.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I thought he was so badass. And when his moment when he gets captured and he like does that like not really speech but like kind of proclamation to everybody, I thought that was deep.
Oh yeah, that was
Deep
great.
in like a couple words. Yeah.
My favorite hero would probably have to be at this point right now Hawks, and then favorite villain would probably be Dobby.
Yeah.
I actually want to cosplay him at some point. I really want him more into makeup and try to do that. I think
Yeah.
he's
That's
always
sick. He's another one that I want to see more of because in the anime,
Yeah,
it happens so much.
I want to know if he's related to Todoroki or not. It's still
Yeah,
pretty-
that's the big question.
I wanna know.
For me,
What about you?
let me start off with villains because my
Ooh,
favorite characters
curveball.
are the villains in My Hero Academia.
Mm,
So my favorite villains are Dabi, like Eric here,
Yeah.
and Chisaki. Like I loved Chisaki's character. I loved his power.
Which one's that again?
The one that can touch you and like make you break apart and then make you
Yeah.
form.
Wait. Overhaul, right?
Yeah.
Is a
Yeah,
villain
yeah,
name. Yeah,
overhaul.
okay.
Yeah, that was the part. That I felt like that part was awesome.
Yeah, he was very unique.
Yeah.
And my favorite hero. I love Jaizawa's character. And I like Todoroki too. Todoroki's pretty good. But does he
Todoroki's
consider as is he considered a hero yet? That's the question.
I would say he's a hero.
Okay. All right.
I
Yeah.
consider-
Yeah.
Yeah, those
On
are
the hero side of things, at least.
yeah. But Chisaki is the only time I didn't really like him was when he got defeated because kind of pissed me off, kind of annoyed me. But like
Yeah.
he got like super buff and stuff. I feel like he was just so good, just without the extra buff
Yeah.
that he got.
Right. They
Like
needed to add that DBZ aspect.
yeah, they had to. They had
The
to.
power up. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I feel like My Hero kind of gets some hate by some people just because they consider it just like stereotypical shonen, but I think it's great.
It's unique. Yeah, he's doing
It's
something.
just it's good, but I feel like it could just be better. Like it has so much more potential. Like it shows it has a huge fan base, one of the most toxic fan bases. Foundation.
Oh, I didn't know it has a toxic fan base. I knew it had a fan.
Nah, you have not seen how defensive My Hero fans get when you say, "Oh, My Hero can be better." Oh, My Hero this, My Hero.
Oh, it's
relax.
perfect. They instantly just go into hold me back mode.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, I deal with a toxic fan base on a almost a near daily basis. So I know how that is.
Right.
Man, but I feel like My Hero can just be so much more than what it is now if it just didn't ruin the villains in the anime and like didn't make the heroes so hero like, if that makes sense, you know. Like I feel like they could be like just make them they can be heroes, but make them more human and more, you know, closer to what who they are, what they're true like. Then give them like, for example, Midoriya, a super buff to make him defeat the enemy somehow, knowing that he was getting beat up like 10 seconds ago.
Oh yeah.
Right.
The one character I really don't like, and if I've ever went and talked to My Hero fans and maybe give me some shit for this, is Bakugo.
I don't either. I
You
feel
know,
you. I feel you.
He's such a one-dimensional character. He's the same asshole, and he never changes.
Right.
And I mean, it's like his power isn't like, yeah, he has like a fire ability, and I feel like he has a lot of plot armor too. Like he's just stronger than he really deserves.
Right. I don't get why he's so strong.
Like Todoroki's power is he has a way better fire power and ice power. And
right.
Bakugo is just, I don't freaking like him. He's not a particularly enjoyable character. He can be an asshole and still be likable, but he's like an asshole that isn't really likable because he never changes. He doesn't have any character development. He never changes. Moody as hell.
Right.
I feel like he's the Vegeta of this anime without
he is
character development.
Sure. Right.
Yeah, it is. He literally is the Vegeta without character development.
He's the Vegeta.
When I watch animes, I try to think to myself, like, would I be friends with this person in real life? Like, despite their flaws, despite what they're doing, like, would they make a good friend, or would I actually enjoy hanging out with them? And he's one of those characters like, no, I would never want to hang out with this dude. Like, he would just be the ultimate party pooper.
Yeah, I agree, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
as far as like what Noel was saying before with how the heroes are so hero-esque, when Hawks first came in, I had this feeling that he was going to be kind of like bad behind the scenes. Like I had a feeling that like he was like edgy and like he was kind of leaning towards like just climbing the ranks, and then he kind of had ties to the villains. But then at the end of the Endeavor fight where he started like actually helping him, I was like, okay, no, he's actually just badass.
Yeah.
Make them more realistic, man. Like let one of the, like, for example, I'm not sure if you guys watch Black Clover, but some of the
I don't. That's the one that I've never gotten into.
Okay. Well,
I just watched it.
anyway, there's this leader, right? he
His
was
main
corrupt.
leader.
He was working for the other country, whatever it's called, and like make one of the heroes, corrupt, make them,
That's what I was thinking Hawks was gonna be.
yeah, make them a little bit evil. Don't let them all be good.
Like a double agent type
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Like that,
Yeah.
have more complexity to the enemy, not just one dimension. Or if you're not good, you're bad. If you're not bad, you're good.
Right. Like
So
obviously we haven't read the manga really that much, but or I haven't at all. But I feel like the villains have something big brewing up.
And that's why I like the villains more than the heroes. And that's why I like Bakugo more than a lot of the other heroes. Because Bakugo is more villain-like than any other hero I've seen in the
Yeah,
anime.
he's definitely angry all the time.
Like he literally say, "I'll kill you."
Right.
it, it's really, I don't know. It's just, like, one character that Deku pisses me off. He just
Deku,
Deku.
he,
I don't really like Deku that much.
he pisses
He's
me
like
off.
the
He's too
opposite of
good.
Bakugo in the sense where he's just always good and he's always like, "Oh, I'll help you." Oh,
Like,
okay.
how do you manage to be more good than Naruto? Like it
Yeah, he's
doesn't.
more good than Naruto.
Like it just doesn't add up. Like he's like
Mhm.
Naruto. He fight. How do I say it? Naruto is a good character, but like Deku is just a goody two shoes. He does
He
Right.
nothing
really,
wrong.
I never put that much focus on him alone. I feel like he's just some kid that got a really OP power.
Right.
That was just gifted with an OP power, and that's his character.
Hmm.
And that's why I like. If not Todoroki in the students, it's the what's his name? The bird dude. Bird kid.
Oh, food. No,
I forgot his
I can't. I
name.
never remember his name.
Like the shadow thing.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I can't
Like
think of his
he's cool.
name.
He's cool as hell. Like he has
Yeah,
he has a, like a
Oh, Tokoyami.
ominous. What was it?
Tokugami,
Tokoyami, yeah.
Yeah, him. Yeah,
Tokoyami. Yes, yes.
Tokugami. Yeah. He has such an ominous
Favorite.
feeling to him. Like I don't know anything. And he's not all good himself. Like when he goes into like the shadows, he
Yeah, he
becomes like
can't
a whole.
control it when he's in the
Yeah,
dark. I think that's a really cool
Oh, yeah.
power.
yeah. See, it's like if more characters were like that, man. If more characters were like
Right.
that.
That's
Todoroki is another Sasuke. We all know that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of the characters aren't really have that much depth to them, or are that interesting. That's one of my issues with My Hero, especially like the main characters.
Yeah, the side characters I think are cooler. Like
Yeah,
the
side
actual
characters.
heroes I think are
Why is
cooler.
that such a theme with anime where the side characters outpower the main
Right.
characters?
I'm the same way. All my favorite characters are side characters. Hunter, Kite. I mean, My Hero Academia, Aizawa.
Some animes I like that they make the side characters who are liked and they eventually turn them into main characters
Right.
as the seasons go on. I really, really like that. But
Mhm.
with My Hero, it's not that much.
Mhm.
There's a lot of cool side characters. I'm like, oh, why don't they get more attention?
The best genist. I mean, come on, we want more genist guys.
Oh yeah.
And going back to what Connor said, I feel like for example, Hunter x Hunter, right? I feel like Hunter x Hunter does it perfectly.
Oh
Like,
yeah, it is
yeah,
perfect. Yeah,
Oh yeah, perfectly.
Gon is
the perfect
Gon is a
series.
goody two shoes, but he has a side to him
Oh,
that
he
you
doesn't.
never expected
Oh
him to
yeah,
have.
for sure.
Like exactly
That's,
like
that's
when he was in front of what's her name?
Pito.
Pito, yeah.
yeah, Vito.
Him
Ooh,
staring her down for like 5 episodes straight,
Yeah.
not saying a single word, being cold heart. Like I loved that side of
that was a big
Gon.
spot.
And the thing I love about Gon too, like you're saying, is his curiosity with like just wanting to know things and just exploring. Like sometimes in like the fights, he'll just like try stuff and be like, "Well, I thought this would be like the best way to do it, or I wanted to see what would happen." And like he doesn't think
Oh,
about
what do you say?
the course of powering up and using all of his ability from the future and like giving up his future basically. And like I don't know,
Oh yeah.
he's a very interesting character. He's one of my favorite main characters for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
My favorite character in Hunter x Hunter, I'm not sure if I've said this before, but I feel like it would have to be Killua
Mm,
because Killua, he can be annoying sometimes,
mm,
but I feel like he just, for example, when he got, it just so much happens to him with his brother, making him kill the dude in the hunter exam, and then him having that cool ass power with the electricity, and then him,
Godspeed.
yeah, the Godspeed, and then him, when they were during the exam, when he no, was it exam? No, it wasn't during the exam, was it? I think it was. When they were finding the prisoners,
Yeah, the
and then
prisoners. Yeah,
he stole the guy's, he took the guy's heart out of
the
his chest.
heart. Yeah,
That was dope. Like
right.
that was dope. It's just,
Yeah, no, Killua was sick. He also like has so much cool backstory and like kind of psychological stuff going on with the way Illumi like implanted and imprinted, the fear of like if you're ever, have the chance of dying, just run. You can't have any friends. He had to overcome so much. He's a really cool character.
Definitely. Lumi's really cool too. I like his
Yeah.
brother. I think he's a fantastic character.
Yeah,
I really want them to continue the Hunter x Hunter anime.
dude, they have enough for another season for sure, maybe two.
Yeah.
Maybe two if they stretched it, but I don't think that they're gonna pick it back up until he starts writing more. Because like the manga ended right when like the next arc started, basically. Like the Dark Continent arc, the manga's at a point where like they're almost there. They're almost starting that, and then we haven't had anything in months.
Yeah, sure. I really need them to animate the Chrollo and Hisoka fight. That
Yeah,
looks so freaking cool.
yeah,
One of my favorite fights in manga or anime. That's
yeah.
easily one
Dude,
of
it
my.
was like literally a full volume of just a fight.
Yeah, no, and there was so much shit to take out of this fight. Like I had to read it 2 or 3 times, watch a video out of it.
Oh,
The
yeah.
first time I read it, I was like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Like,
Yeah, because Chrollo has one of the coolest abilities of all time. So it literally took like 4 chapters to explain it.
yeah, no, it was the most technical. I think the most technical fight in like all of manga. Like,
Yeah, oh yeah, especially Shonen.
for yeah, no, it was technical as hell.
Right. And that's why I love Hunter x Hunter.
am I the only one that loves the grandfather, Killua's grandfather? Like,
What about him?
am I the only one that loves his grandfather?
Oh yeah, no, Zeno is so sick.
Yeah.
The dragon dive. Oof.
Oh yeah.
Oof.
Shonen.
No, when they both fought, when they both, or his father and his grandfather both fought
Fuck
Hisoka
Chrollo.
or Frollo, yeah, and
Yeah.
Newark. That was awesome as well. And
That was sick.
Frollo held his own pretty well, which kind of makes you understand how strong Frollo is, but how power and Nen abilities are in Hunter x Hunter. There is one fun fact is the Royal Guards and the Chimera Ant are much stronger than Hisoka or Frollo. Like they would, like Peter would kill Bill.
Yeah, they would one shot, but like, yeah, Netero just said he didn't even know if he could beat Pito by himself, even if it's in his prime.
Yeah, even in his prime. So that's just one fair saying. Is you think that Hisoka and Frollo are like the most OP characters in Hunter x Hunter until you get farther and you get to realize they're not as strong as you think they were.
Right. And have you read up into like past the Chrollo fight?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've seen like on the Black Whale ships.
Yeah,
because there's some characters, dude. Like Saradnik is, I think he's gonna be one of the strongest characters of all time.
I think he's gonna start with 9.
He's gonna be insane.
He's getting stronger like by the minute too.
Yeah, he teaches himself. He teaches
himself, and he picked up like at a level because Morgan was kind of just born with it, but like he's picked up by himself, and he's not even like putting that much effort into it, really.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before we get too much into the Hunter x Hunter, because I'll go off.
I can go on.
We should decide what we're gonna watch for next week.
Okay.
What? Suggestions.
You guys go first.
I'm gonna finish Dorohedoro, so I'll definitely finish that.
Definitely finish that one. We can probably have a more in-depth conversation about that. We want to talk about that anime, but my suggestion would be I have 2. Have either of you guys watched all of? I know you have, Noel, but have you watched all of Durarara?
I have not. No.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, that one might take a while. I'm actually doing a video on.
I haven't actually started it.
Yeah, I'm doing a video on Durarara and why Part 2 or Durarara 2 just wasn't as good as the first part, and why I was disappointed in it. I wrote a whole script for that. I just didn't record the audio.
I feel like the first season is just enough for Connor to watch. Like the second one, we shouldn't even go over because it's just how
Is that the one where like they have the weird like antenna things?
No.
Like the redhead dude that has like the
You're thinking
little.
about Psycho. What is it called?
That's
Psycho.
what I'm-
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one, but I know of it. I know.
But yeah, Durarara.
Oh, I know
The
it's it.
first part. What's up?
No, go ahead.
Okay, the first part, Durarara, the first season or the first part of the manga that was adapted to the anime was one of my favorite animes of all time. I put it in my top 10. The first part, like, yeah, no, she's they're the best. And
Which one are you talking about?
Durarara with
Okay, the first part of it.
Yeah, the first part of it was phenomenal. There's no anime quite like it. I can't even really find an anime that did what Durarara did. When I watched each and every episode as soon as it came out on Toonami when I think I was 15 or something, and became an instant classic. And then when part 2 came out, I was so happy. And then part 2 came out, and I was so disappointed because one thing that Durarara did really well is they had all of these side characters and all of these characters kind of with their own stories, and then somehow they were just all kind of interconnected into one thing. And they tried doing that with season 2, but added way too many new characters. Like, they added all these new characters, and none of those new characters were even half as good as Izaya or Shizua or Celti.
Okay, so should I do season 1 then for next week?
Yeah, let's talk about season 1. Also, one thing, this is an anime I really, really want you guys to start watching Baki the Grappler, just because we'll have a fucking riot talking about that. It's the most over-the-top anime I think I've ever watched in my entire life.
All right, so I'll start with Baki then, because that one's shorter, I think, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's shorter.
Okay.
Damn, I wanted to give an anime too. I wanted to say you guys watch Orange. It's a 12 episode anime, but it's so good, man. It's about this kid who is depressed, and I mean I'm pretty sure this is in the synopsis, and he commits suicide, and then people from the future selves of the people, his friends, send a letter to themselves in the past. It's kind of like supernatural kind of, and they have to try to save him from dying. So it's such a real life anime, because I lost my mom and I know exactly how it felt for the kid to lose his mom. So, and it puts you in such a psychological place that you feel for him, and you see why, you see what he goes through, you see why he does what he does. And I feel like it's an anime that you guys need to watch. You're gonna feel for the kid. You're gonna feel for the kid.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so we'll put that on the list. And then, have you guys seen Trigun?
Yes.
No, I have not. I have not watched Trigun. I know of it, but I've never watched it.
Ooh, that is a classic.
I think I kind of want to do that one for mine.
How long is Trigun?
I don't know off the top of my head. I think it might be like 26. Yeah.
For what? Isn't that like 2 seasons?
I think it's only 1 season. Is it 2 seasons?
I think it's one. I think it's only one, but it's like a pretty long season.
Right.
Yeah, I'll try to watch it.
Yeah, I mean that could be one that like we start and we don't have to necessarily do next week, but whenever Noel finishes it, we can just review it.
Yeah, I think we should at least do Baki the Grappler, and what's the one you suggest, Noel?
Orange.
So do those 2 definites and Dorohedoro. I only have.
You're almost there though, so it doesn't.
Right, so I don't have to watch a couple episodes of that, but I'll definitely do Baki, Orange.
I can watch Baki.
And then Noel, start Trigun. You don't have to finish it by next week.
Yeah, I'll try to get to the halfway mark where they change the opening. I'm not sure if they do that in this, but
yeah, where the opening change. Yeah, cool. Well, I think that's some solid content for today. So this is Just Some Weebs podcast, episode 8. Stay tuned till next guy. Nope. Stay tuned till the next episode, guys. Peace out.
Peace out.